Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Welcome back to Valorant News and a couple of the craziest matches you're going to see in Valorant history, to be honest. Yesterday at Masters Copenhagen, plenty to talk about there, but also some rumours that Chamber's getting nerfed and what this nerf might actually look like, and Zombs from Sentinels saying that he is planning to join another team next season, but not before the LCQ. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoy, subscribe if you were new as always, I would greatly appreciate it, really helps out the channel. Thank you very much indeed for doing that one. This is kind of a moment here with Cryocels and Melter before that Leviatan versus XSET series kicked off, and yes, certainly worthy of note as we'll see over the coming minutes. Wanted to firstly talk about Chamber, because I was wondering at this event, given the fact that most regions, like North America especially, has used Chamber pretty much every single map of the last few months or so. Now, the other regions haven't necessarily used it quite so much. I was kind of wondering what would the pick rate be this event. Turns out the pick rate is not a massive surprise, an 80% pick rate here for Chamber so far this event across pretty much all the teams. 80% for Chamber, 51% for Raze, Fade actually 47%, rather interesting. But yes, most people say that Chamber and nerf is in the works. There's been some rumors what they should do, what the idea is. Should they do something with the teleport? Should they do something with the AWP that he has, the ultimate, the tour de force, or whatever exactly it's called? Like, you know, what is actually the route here to make Chamber a little bit more balanced and just prevent it being used every single series? Because you can see Jet right here has fallen off massively down to 21%. A lot of people think that's because, and understandably, that Chamber just replaces Jet, right? Because you don't need to dash away and hold a weird operator angle if you can do it with the teleport for Chamber. He has a free AWP as well, so like he just makes much more sense in that role than Jet does on most occasions, and therefore why would you use anything else? So Tarek on stream last night, there was some talks about, okay, what exactly is the nerf that's currently rumored? Some people thought that maybe this is a nerf that like had been theorized on Reddit and now people are running with it, but he reckons that this could actually be the case, that first of all the teleport maybe has to be placed down before the round and therefore like can only be used in a particular situation, and in addition the ultimate, the operator might go down to 4 bullets instead of 5, and also get rid of the slow, which has been a big frustration for many, even though it still does shoot rather fast.
I mean, if you heard the nerf of Chamber, then it's gonna be harder, like, to...
What's the Chamber
I'm
nerf?
waiting. From what I heard, it's like you can place the TP once a round, or something like that, then...
Oh, only one TP for the round?
Yeah, 4 bullets only. And then AWP has no slow, it's like pretty much like a normal AWP.
But it's fast.
Yeah, I think it was fast, or maybe it's like a normal AWP.
I mean,
it's just rumors. I don't know how true it's. I heard like a lot of from other people that tested it.
So we'll see if there are any Chamber nerfs, right? Of course, we know that Pearl is coming into the map pool ahead of the World Championship, at least as it currently stands. Would be a little bit interesting if they changed up the potential meta as well by making changes. So I imagine they probably, if they know what they're doing, going to just keep the same meta for the rest of the season, and after the World Championship, then switch around the kind of the balancing potentially of some of these teams. Let's talk the first series of the day, FPX versus Guild. Interesting series, really. I feel like FPX are favored in this one. They did win game number 1 here on the Ascent. 1 round away were FPX at this point. They close out the rounds. They get the job done. Game 2, though, was dominant the other way. Guild at this point were 12-1 up, honestly, on FPX, and a pretty much flawless defensive half to hold things out. FPX did win a couple of rounds, but again, it didn't take long for Guild to close out this map and take the series all the way to a game 3. But this was just the FPX show, to be honest. 11-3 at this point. I mean, Angel was making plays. zyppan was making plays as well. What was that, honestly, from zyppan? It was disgusting. To go up 12-3, Guild really did stand no chance. Seemingly a similar thing to what happens really online when FPX play anyone from the European side, apart from Fnatic, when they just get the job done emphatically. So good to see, honestly, that FPX could be here with their full team, so I get to arrive just in time for them to play a massive series like this, and well, move on in the losers bracket as well. They now guarantee themselves top 6 here. Like, that's pretty good. Pretty sure that should confirm themselves at the World Championship as well. We'll see that here in a few minutes' time also, because a lot of teams actually locked into champs yesterday based on certain results that were going down. FPX win the series. Safe did his best and had a bit of a monster series, but yeah, Artist kind of turned up. He had a relatively rough tournament so far, so I get to Angel kind of, well, just warming up really in this tournament, but still I think they can make some damage still happen in that losers bracket. Great to see them get their full team actually, because I did not think it was going to happen, and we get to see what they can actually do on LAN. Let's talk about what was the most ridiculous series, XSET versus Leviatan. Like, this honestly was so crazy, because so far this tournament we've already had ridiculous splits, ridiculous game 5s and the like. I mean, yeah, look at this round, honestly. Like, Second Striker's best goes down. King gets the defuse with 0.1 seconds on the clock. If Second does literally stand still, doesn't do anything for another 0.1 seconds, then he wins the rounds. But I mean, yeah, Leviathan get the defuse anyway, so this was ridiculous. Some of the rounds here that XSET were losing were like, honestly, I'm sure they'll never be able to forgive themselves for some of this stuff that was happening here. But still, game 1 does eventually go XSET's way, actually. It was kind of a crazy game. XSET got up 12-8, and then still King was making some plays to keep Leviathan alive. Like, every single map was ridiculous in this series. Like, XSET, the #1 seed in North America, would they get cursed? I thought maybe they would, because it was going to be like a guard situation where, despite the fact that theoretically they do have more experience, like it was actually their experienced players, really like Aaron especially, that weren't really showing up in this series, to be honest. Another clutch then from Melsa. This is where Melsa just goes crazy. So XSET up 1-0, then XSET 10-8 at this point in their favor, and Melsa just goes absolute god mode for so many rounds in a row. He was winning it, like, honestly, one of the craziest individual performances you've seen from a player in a long period of time. Melsa comes into the site here, 1 versus 2, gets the first kill, gets the second, and okay, yeah, standard 1v2, nothing really to talk about, but it's not just this one, it was the fact that he was doing this every single round. The 1v1s, the 1v2s, the 1v3s, like, I mean, he was just playing like an absolute god, to be honest, right? And there was some talk about BCJ as well, just because he'd said before the tourney about stacks, right, and being the best controller in the world, but didn't necessarily have the best performance, right, too, and Melsa just keeps on going, right? At this point, this is match point, right? Like, and Melsa comes into the site in effectively a 1 versus 2 that he should have no business winning at all, takes down zyppan, gets, I mean, honestly, this is crazy, he just hops to the fuse, gets it halfway, and then close out the rest of the round as well with the clutch. I mean, honestly, like, look at Melsa go, man. They're going to be kicking themselves here for XSET. They had match point at this point for 13 rounds. Melsa comes up, clutch it up to 12-11, and then they win that round as well, take it to overtime, and Melsa keeps on going in the overtime to give them a 14-13 advantage, which eventually they close out. So he went monstrous here on the ascent to keep them alive in the series. XSET must have been kicking themselves a little bit, but in fairness, they still bounced back rather well and performed great on the map 3 of the series, and well, it was another overtime incoming very soon indeed. It goes 11-11 at this point. Despite a 9-3 start for Leviathan, it looked like the curse was going to come through, and then BCJ goes massive here, so finally a clutch comes through from the XSET guys. BCJ gets 1, picks up the second as well to give match point again for XSET. Like, how many match points do they want to have? But Leviathan clutch up, they take it to overtime, and then they close out the overtime as well. Like, some of these rounds as well, even to get to the overtime, and just the fact that this was 16-14. Final map of the series was absolutely insane. So, look, XSET are going to be thinking, wow, we should have won that one. It was definitely tough scenes for them, but at the same time, Leviathan, great performance from the Latin American guys, and also they put themselves in a position now where they're going to be at the World Championship, it seems, and also XSET as well. They're getting some experience, right? Like, on a stage like this, without the kind of warm-up of the group play, it's often going to be difficult, but I think that XSET will feel like, I mean, look, Creo and zyppan, they kind of turned up. The two players, more inexperienced guys, the people theorized might not actually turn up this tournament in the LAN environment, but really it was maybe some of the more veterans that weren't playing all that well. Like, Ye was like, okay, what is actually happening in this game? Those last 2 rounds, like, you know, so frustrating, I'm sure, to watch at times. zyppan frustrated, of course, individually, but look, I mean, XSET, they have a tough time here. They could maybe have made a losers bracket run, but probably wouldn't have gone that far based on the way they were playing, but I certainly feel like going into the World Championship with a bit more time under their belt, they still can be a force. And now with the placing they've had, they have officially qualified, right? But Leviathan also qualify for the World Championship as well. That now leaves 10 teams that have qualified for champions in Istanbul. 6 teams will still be determined via last chance qualifiers, but OpTic, XSET, Fnatic, FPX, Loud, Leviathan, DRX, Zeta Division, Paperx, and Xerxia. All these 10 teams will guaranteed be at the World Championship. There's a few more spots, of course, to be determined through the various regions as time progresses. Really stinks, says Creo, but yeah, they will be ready for the World Championships. Yeah, Leviathan, I mean, look at this, right? I mean, we'll look at the final map here especially. Back-to-back 9-3s to even force it, and like, I mean, yeah, the slaying, honestly, if we look at the overall series statistics here, you wouldn't really look at these numbers and think that Leviathan won this series, right? Like, the fact that they were able to do so much damage, despite getting outslayed by 19 kills over the course of the series, just shows how many clutches they were winning, really. Like, if you look at the ACS for Melsa, like, there was nothing really crazy going on here. Like, his first kill, first death rate wasn't even particularly good, but Melsa in the clutches was just so impactful that, like, they can get away with statistics like this in terms of the slaying department. zyppan and Cryo did show up, but, I mean, yeah, tough series from some of the other guys when they needed them to turn up. So Leviathan move on to the tournament. Great performance from those guys. Let's talk Sentinels real quick, though, right? Because we saw yesterday that Shroud was saying, actually, our scrims haven't been going that well. We've kind of been struggling in practice so far. A bit of a disaster, really, like how things have been working out. They kind of struggling with roles, compositions, getting everything together, but they've still got time to figure things out. Pokemon even came back and was just kind of roasting Sentinels here for, like, maybe you having a good analyst because, like, their recent results, let's say, haven't been particularly good. But of course, Zombs was on this team for quite some time. There's been some rumors, okay, would they bring Zombs back? They got Shroud instead. Like, is Zombs going to return to the team at some point or another? Did they want him back when, like, players had to step out and he wanted to sub in? He asked the team to sub in. They said no. Does he want to still compete again, right? Does he want to be like just a content creator? Does he still want to be on Sentinels? Does he want to compete for another organization if Sentinels don't decide to bring him back next year, which seems rather unlikely on current trajectory? He was asked this on stream last night, and he says that actually, like, he is looking to potentially return. He was asked, okay, are you looking for another team? And he said, yeah, probably after the last chance qualifier. Right now, there's no teams that don't really, it makes any sense to join, but apparently he is looking to return professionally if he gets the opportunity.
So you trying to get another team, or are you just, like, chilling?
After
they might try and... oh, yeah.
I might try and shove elbow pretty early. See what
Oh,
happens.
there's like no 2-run teams that are gonna like replace anyone right now.
I'm gonna go left side, so
Yeah,
make sure to
no.
clear the right. Get that wall up instantly.
Go, go, go!
So of course it's almost impossible to say what's going to happen next season. We don't know which organizations are going to be able to get locked in for the franchise partnership ecosystem anyway. Sentinels are going to be one of them, right? But the way the team is currently trending there, it's kind of tough to say what their roster will be, because I mean Shrouder said he's only here really for the LCQ and the World Championship if they qualify for it. Next season, who knows? Same with Zelsis, really, right? Who knows if they're actually going to keep him long term or what their roster's going to be, because they can't even guarantee themselves they're going to be there in franchising next year, but it seems likely. But Zombs, I can't imagine, is coming back, and he's probably thinking, I mean, look, maybe feels somewhat harshly done by the Sentinels guys, wants to join another roster with limited spots in the Pro League next season, especially out of North American teams, might be a hard time getting that opportunity to arrive. Here are some of the best players of Masters 2 Copenhagen on, of course, day 7 of the tournament as it was yesterday. Safe despite the loss, Artis, Zek and Melser and Cryocels, definitely all worthy of mention right here, and this is a crazy matchup today. So yesterday was great, today also some phenomenal games. I'm sure some really entertaining games to happen as well, because OpTic versus DRX last time was great. It's going to happen again. Fnatic versus Paper X, like that's going to be to me the series of the day, just because Paper X are so much fun to watch, and then Fnatic are just so drilled and consistent that, like, I mean, yeah, we'll see how those two teams' styles mesh really. And of course, what a crucial series for the context of this tournament. But yeah, OpTic versus DRX on the other side, and this is the bracket then. So 2 upper semi-finals today. The winner of these matches will guarantee themselves top 3 at this tournament. Paper X versus Fnatic is the first one, as I say. Like, I mean, yeah, that's just such a great clash of styles. Paper X so much fun to watch, and Fnatic are fun to watch kind of for different reasons, because they're just so good and disciplined, but also with the star players. And then DRX versus OpTic. I'm pretty sure we did see this matchup back in Masters 1. It was a crazy matchup that I think OpTic came out on top on in the end. I'm going to take OpTic to win this one. I'm going to take Fnatic to win this one. But like, still, I hope that these are close series that go map 3 and we get more bangers just like we did yesterday. But very much enjoyed your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit on the like button and tell to YouTube gods this is a good video. Others like you should see it as well. And help grow the competitive Valorant community. Thank you as always. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time.